So now we are like in the city again, and I would like to a little bit end the loop again with an architect. Thanks to the Mood for Wood project of our partner from Poland, I discovered the architectural studio Paradigma Ariadné, based in Budapest, Hungary. And I asked if they can tell us something more about the project related to interventions in public spaces. So the next speaker is Szabolcs Molnár, co-founder of Paradigma Ariadné.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the interaction and the invitation as well. And of course, the interesting presentations before. As you said, we are Paradigma Ariadné from Budapest, and we got that was the title of the email that I got from the reclamation of public and community spaces through the location-specific architectural and design objects. But before that, I would like to just few words about the office, just quickly. So we are 5 years old now, and the origin of the Ariadne comes from Beatrix Colomina. She has an argument about that. Rather that Daedalus was the first architect, she said instead of Daedalus, she thinks Ariadne was the first architect who had the knowledge and the tool with the thread to understand and find a way out of the labyrinth. Because Daedalus, obviously he built the labyrinth, but he cannot find a way out. So we thought that this is a really important distinction, that what an architect should or could do. So we choose that Ariadne, who help you understand the space, help you understand the architecture. It's a little bit closer to us, just to build something. And so we are an architectural studio, but we do architecture designs and also architecture cultural management, which means we have exhibitions and curatorial works like 12 Walls exhibition, The Rune, 2 Towers, A Face and the Pool, or a thematic exhibition about the cube houses from Hungary, or the curatorship of the Biennale in Venice. We also do large-scale installations, like for the Hellwood or some clients, or this is a slanted house of the Field of Sparks. We did it 2 years ago, and obviously we have buildings. I just wanted to show you this kind of the selection of a work to a little bit contextualize what's coming from. What will come next. So the reclamation of public and community space through the location-specific architectural design objects. So I little bit I give the thought that what it should mean, and if I really want to simplify that, how we do it, that we do something extraordinary with architecture on a topic that wasn't that interesting before. It's a really simple phrase that what it really means. But if I want to elevate again a little bit, that what we really do, we contextualize architectural related issues and topics in order to make people interested in it and recognize that. And the most important thing and we do all of that with architecture. And this is an important note here. So I will show you 3 realized objects from the last 3 years, which has this kind of 3 common points. They are all related to public or community spaces. They have a location-specific content, and the last point, maybe the most important, it comes from the cornerstone of the office, that they are narration-based projects with different entry levels, and I will tell you more about that later. So this will be the 3 projects: the 12 Wolves, the Face, Pool, 2 Towers and the Ruin, and the Shandorfalva's rural geometries. And I made a little rubric here just to show and contextualize what will we see. So all the 3 has different mediums in a different context, and we give them kind of different narratives. And you will see that in the first attempt, then we will have the surface in a building context and we choose the narrative of ornament, then we have an object which is a medium in the context of the city, and we narrate it as an artifact. Then we will have a building in a nature, and the narrative will be the landscape. So let's jump to the first. So the 12 Walls exhibition was 3 years ago in the city of Veszprém in an empty industrial school. And the client at the first, they just wanted to make an exhibition about rehabilitation of a theater, which is a different building opposite of this building in the street. And you can see here, so they renovated the buildings. I think they are just doing the job now, so they are not finished yet. And they wanted to show the people of the city to what they will get. And it's basically what we were reached for just with the panel exhibitions. And now we try to contextualize a little bit, and we gave them an idea. This is a very important building of an important architect from István Megyeszai, who was kind of Art Nouveau secessionist architects in Hungary, who was studied under Wagner, so he's really important. And we thought that maybe besides the showing the renovation and the rehabilitation of the building, we can put a topic into the people's mind, which is important. We thought that is important as an architect and reflects the quality of the building, and that was the ornament. And 3 years back, the ornament was really a hot topic, and Poznan revival was a hot topic. So it was kind of an obvious thing to deal with that. We invited 12 emerging studios from the world, so it was an international exhibition. They had to produce 12 murals and ornaments to just designs, and they put them on the walls. And with that, the whole building, which was closed since decades, it was open, and it was kind of walkable again. We had thousands of guided tours, and it was always a full house. So the people was really interested in to see let's say the art, but also to understand what will happen with the theater. And somehow they were connected with the old 100-year-old building in the contemporary art and architecture scene. So it was a really a good show. The paintings still there. Actually, they are using the building as a warehouse now, but if it's full of boxes and the stuff from the theater, which is now empty because the renovation. So they put everything here. And as you can see, the people were always was really curious, not just the exhibition, but again the building, which they were not allowed to go since, I don't know, 1980s or like that. Another project is still in the city of Veszprém. So Veszprém is kind of a middle-sized city in Hungary. The area which we will go, this is the Haskovo housing estate from the 60s. Here, the narrative, as I showed you before, was the artifact. As you can think about a modernist or a Fordist building estate, they kind of a lack of the qualities what a historical cities has, because they don't have history, let's say. And with the history, they are missing a lot of layers which a city or an urban fabric has. So we thought that maybe it gives us a good opportunity to apply the theory of Aldo Rossi, which is the urban artifact, notion of the urban artifact. And the urban artifact, as I just put here, the notion that is kind of an element that is characterized first and foremost not by its function but its type. So an urban artifact can be anything which has some kind of content which can form the city around it. The people has memories, and people has actions with it. So it kind of not necessarily a built layer. It can be a square, it can be a clock, it can be just a corner, or a building, or a river, or a bridge. So a lot of things. And because of the housing estate has more or less in Hungary, they have just houses and nothing more, because they didn't develop really well as the modernist utopia just wanted to do, but it's not happened. Then we thought we will give them a kind of a new layer, a new object to which they can relate, and making new stories and making new habits and points to meet and, I don't know, kiss and play and so on. So we again invited 5 studios to develop and design one object, a human scale object. The dimension is 2 meter by 2 meter and 3 meter high, and we have 5 different objects, 5 different points of the city. And with that, we thought that we will give them a new meaning. So, for example, the first one is a tower, because it's the whole housing estate hasn't got any churches, and the churches usually has got this reference point that let's meet the church, or you can see the tower of the church, and it can gives you the direction. But we hasn't got that. So symbolically, we put a top of a tower on the ground. Or there is the pool from the Office Maio. Again, the housing estate doesn't have any water surface, so they designed a pool. It's kind of a hollow inside, and the water and the rain can stay there. This is a ruin, and again, because they don't have any history, the housing estate doesn't have any ruins, especially not modernist ruins. So we get a form of a ruin, and if you can see, there are the shapes of modernist chairs in it. So it's a comfortable room. You can sit on it, and you can, I don't know, drink and take a cigarette, what you want. The face, this is from Point Supreme, and they said the buildings they didn't have anything which human like. So they use it as a quote as a Japanese architect did the building, and they put it on the middle of the housing estate, and the people just loved it. So it's a hollow. It has a bench. It somehow gives back the humanity of the housing estate. And the last is a staircase and a column, because these 2 qualities again missing from the housing estate. So we just provided that. And with these 5 objects, we made a tour. We have a website. We had posters. Through the website, where you can use audio guides. So we have 5 guides for the objects, and another 5 guides just to understand what is the problems of the modern housing estates today, and these problems, where they came from, and what should be, not what should be the solution, but how we should interpret it. Again, there were many people who were interested in it, and they started to use the objects right that point when we put them out on the street. And the last project is rural geometries. So this was the last realized or finished project of us just in this spring. As you can see, this is a really wide and abundant space next to a small town in South Hungary. There are some lakes and water surfaces, as you can see, but it used to be a zone of the river Tisa, and back then it was a huge water surface with a lot of birds and a lot of animals. But when they regulated the river, all of the habitats of these lands are gone, and they got these invasive reeds and invasive plants, and the birds they had to leave. And the municipality decided they wanted to rehabilitate a big part of this reed, and they got a grant to borrow buffaloes, which they were inhabited for the land, I don't know, 200 years ago, but they are now not there anymore. So they borrowed the buffaloes, and they were the client, and they commissioned us just to design a buffalo barn for them. But again, we a little bit thought about that, and we give them a new narrative that how they should imagine the buildings and the whole complex as it is. So we found that in the Renaissance paintings started to show up the landscapes, and that is the point when the landscape was started to make a new topic as its own, but also as a background of the paintings. And from that point of view, we wanted to show them that not just the let's say the buildings has a value and the buffaloes has a value, but also the landscape and the nature has a value. So we wanted to frame it, and we wanted to show them as it should be. The geometries came from the contemporary highway view of the contemporary rural landscape of Hungary. So, for example, if you go on the motorway, on the highway, you just get these really abstract geometrical agricultural buildings, and we just take them and use it as a building typology, and we used very nature-friendly vernacular materials and references to use the building, and let's say reclaim the reeds and the water to the visitors and to the people of the village as well. This is the barn from the buffaloes, and all the other infrastructure is for the people. So they have a lookout tower, and they have this kind of hideouts where they are able to just hide and look the birds and look how the landscape will transform, because eventually all the reeds will be gone, and then the water surface will come back again, and with that all the birds and all the the used to be habitat buildings of flora and fauna will come back. And basically this is the tree project, and I just put a picture of Ariadne back again just to link back for the beginning, where I said that Ariadne has the thread, and this is a thing that we are not able to use everything, and we are not able to understand everything about architecture and the whole and context of it, but we can give just one thread and going through one section and highlighting one aspect or one quality of the topic or the issue, and with this we think we can make a little bit more about the spaces. I think that is my last word, which was not a great last word, but that will be. Thanks.